What's up? What's up? Let's get this camera working. There we go. All right. Excuse me. How are we this fine, stormy evening for me? Huh. Haven't even started yet. This has been nothing but chaos. Yes, it is a little too early. Wait for some more people to show up. Let's see. Make sure I got everybody tagged. It did take people a little while to show up last time, so we'll see how quickly we can get everybody in this time. Because I do need a little bit of audience participation. What's up, Artifexus? I just watched your short today. With your Thousand Sons possessed, and that dude looks incredible. I was gonna ask you, how'd you land on the layers of blues that you wanted? You didn't get a shout out. You're not as special as Artie over here. Unless I could convince you to start painting models. Then we might talk. I know. But I am looking for a little bit of audience participation here. Because not as good as yours. Certainly not when it comes to the smooth green on their armor. Well, The reason it's so smooth is because I only use one shade, and then I use Nuln Oil over the top of it. I think that for other units in the future, there's going to be some stippling going on, some sponging, to add a little bit of texture. And that may be applicable to what we have here, because I do need some input. I was hoping Maladus or Rushtib would be in here to help me with this too. But I asked my patrons, I gave them 4 options of models that I should paint. And I gave them, well, these were 2 of them, and since there are only 2 patrons in that chat, they both voted on different things. And so I need you all watching here to decide, should I paint my Warpsmith, or should I paint my Jump Pack Captain? The Warpsmith will be for the Fervent Storm, and then the Jump Pack Captain will be for the Sons of Sorrow. So I needed to hear what everyone's thoughts were. If you need a close-up, see if I can get it to focus. 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 It wants to. It wants to focus. Yeah, so there's the details of the Warpsmith. We put him together two or three streams ago. And then here is the Jump Pack Captain. He's just your basic Jump Pack Captain. He's primed with Wraithbone. Right. So, this boy here. I do have an idea for a scheme, and there will be some stippling. I don't know about sponging. I haven't decided on that yet. What colors were the Sons of Sorrow? So the Sons of Sorrow are a homebrew chapter of mine. If anyone knows anything about what I do, everything I do is homebrew. But, show you. This is the scheme for the Sons of Sorrow, with silver arms and legs, and pauldron insets, and then everything else is yellow. Get it to focus. There we go. So, yeah, and they are a homebrew chapter of mine. They are a Lamenter successor, which makes them, by relation, Blood Angel successor. What's up, Rushtib? Looking for some audience participation here, since you and Raincloud both voted on different models. We have the Warpsmith here, who has been base coded. I base coded him this morning. And then we have the Jump Pack Captain, who's been primed with Wraithbone. So he will be for the Sons of Sorrow, and then he will be for the Fervent Storm. So I need chat to make the decision for me. Vote is also for the Warpsmith? Okay. That is the direction we'll go then. I do have an idea for a scheme. It's a little Iron Warriors-esque. Go ahead and put the Jump Pack Captain back on the shelf. Cloud isn't here, so he shouldn't have a say-so. Well, he did pay for his vote. And he also voted for the Jump Pack Captain, so he kind of loses both ways. Alright, so we are going to start, since he's already base coded, we're going to do a gunmetal dry brush. That is not the gunmetal. There it is. You bought him chocolate milk. Well, they didn't take it. Oof. My bottle is dried shut. Remedy that. There we go. Okay. I don't know how this is going to look with the scheme I have in mind, so it may suck. But we're going to try it anyway. Because with the Fervent Storm, they have the green arms and slate blue torsos and legs. Hoping for a chance to do a Warpsmith someday. They look so cool. What are the chances that your one will have wire-based lighting arcs? I think he should. Oh, I need some wire. I would absolutely do that. I was just thinking about doing some warp glow. Or some, like, fire glow. What's up, Malidus? Is this guy going to be the blue and green? I think Fervent Storm. Sorry. No, you're right. It's the Fervent Storm. And yes, he is. But I'm going, since he's a character unit, I'm going to give him a little more attention. So we're giving him a gunmetal dry brush to start out. And then we're going to do some stippling or sponging, one of the two, of the green and blue. Not sure how it's going to look with the silver or the gunmetal dry brush, but we're going to attempt it. And if it looks really good, we're going to use it on my Abaddon Kit Bash for my Chaos Lord. In retrospect, he should have been a sub-assembly, because there are a lot of tight nooks here. But I'm going to suck it up. Your all-time favorite part of painting? Doesn't it just look good? Like, you just want to leave the model the way it is. You don't want to paint over it because you're afraid you're going to mess it up. But I was thinking, since these guys have some Iron Warriors mixed into their gene seed, that it would make sense. I don't know if we're going to do the Mechadendrites. We might just do the armor panels. Because the Mechadendrites are going to get a full coat of paint. I also don't want to break them off with my violent dry brushing. But he already looks fantastic. I could just go over him with an oil wash and be done. Haven't painted for like 5 days and I miss it. Thanks for proxy painting. Well, I'm glad I could do it. I only get to paint once or twice a week anymore because of work, so I feel your pain. And in the fall, it's probably going to end up being once a week. Because I will be working 16 hours a day for 6 days a week for about 6 weeks. We're gonna do the cable cape. I still vibe with the cable cape so hard. It's such a good aesthetic. Breaking a model halfway through painting is just retroactive self-assembly. I can't disagree. I'll go ahead and do the hammer too. He's Iron Warriors-y, so I wanted to give him the hammer. But I've been trying to play around with how I want to do it in their lore, but I do think, I don't remember, was it you, Malladus, who said he should be possessed by a Tzeentch demon? Somebody said it. And I think I'm gonna go with that. But he's got to be a little bit on the tough side, because Iron Warriors. He's not a sorcerer, he's just a glutton for knowledge. Especially when it comes to the warp. And the Fervent Storm does not have any vehicles, so I'm going to need some vehicle units. And I really, really, really want a Leviathan Dreadnought for them. With the siege drill. Because I feel like that would be a fantastic fit. Do you think anyone sneaks up behind him and just plugs in one of his cables from his cape in a random socket? I don't know. I feel like that'd be problematic for all parties involved. And then it makes me wonder, are they prehensile? Or do they just drag behind it? Because if they were prehensile, I feel like that would be a whole different can of worms. Alright. I think that's okay. Now we're going to do some sponging. He definitely has guys charging their phones from his cable cape. They're two-prong. Don't see anything that could be a USB-C or a lightning adapter. He only charges Androids. That's what I'm saying. USB-C or lightning. I see no grounds for the plugs, so it may be a bit of a shocking experience. Sorry, that was a bad pun. I am a dad, so I have a right to use dad jokes at any opportune moment. Bro has every connector for the last 50 years. Okay. So I gotta figure out how I want to do this sponging. I do have a sponge. Thingies. There they are. I'm not very good at stippling with these things. It's almost easier to use my fingers. Got set up and I'm working on my Dorn tonight alongside me. Well, Preparing to do battle, I suppose. I am anxious to see it still. So, whenever you get the opportunity. Alright, we're going to start with our darkest green. I think we're only going to do 2 shades of green. And then for the blue... I don't know how I want to do the blue, because I don't want it to be too bright. I guess I could just add some black to the original base coat. I think I'll do that. Add a little bit of black, and then work our way up with the gradient from there. Making it a little bit more than that. I'd like to avoid having to do any edge highlighting. Use the gloss black. Some purple might be nice on the extra interest for the shadows. That's true. I don't have any deep purples. I have a violet. I was also brainstorming. I want the hammer to glow, and I want some glow effects from the wailing chimneys on his back. And then the plasma is obviously going to glow. I think it's going to have to be a thing to figure out in the moment. Because, yeah, that would look good, but I don't have any deep purples. I'm failing in the paint supply department. What color will the base be? I'm not sure yet. I'm really not. I was thinking about doing some like Zinchian glowing effects. And just keeping it simple, keep it like black. Do some gray dry brushing. Maybe gradient up to white. But I really have no idea. And out of my contrast arsenal, the only actual contrast I have is Imperial Fist, because I use that the most. I've got a bunch of washes. I'm not sure. This was not a very well thought out. Send pics after tonight. Neighbor's power went out, so I offered to let them stay over because it's been around 100 the last 2 days. I slept in the hobby room. Well, I'd make them sleep on the porch before I let them sleep in my hobby room. Maybe I'm a terrible person. Alright, let's see if we can make this work. It may be almost too dark. You can't even see it. It's just kind of dulling the silver. That's okay, because then we can just build up from the gradient. There aren't really that many panels to cover. A lot of it is just fine details. What's up, Ruben? Can't ever let them into the sanctum of woman. No, it's sacred. Sacred territory where no one should be allowed. Yeah, I think this is going to be super simple. And I'll just take a brush and stipple inside those places I can't really reach. It's also my makeshift office computer room. It's the only room in the house with a bed. That is true. No, your cover's blown. She knows I'm a terrible person. Miss Little Smokies. Every time a new nickname is come up with for you, you need to change your name to that. Or just make it like a bunch of dashes between all your nicknames. My Land Raider Crusader stripped for a fuzzy prime. Going to start airbrushing it along with stream. Sweet. Mistress that makes food in today's age? Yeah, right. No joke. Okay. Get a couple of these spots in here. My intention was for this to be simple. That may change. The details are what's going to take the longest. As they always do. Maybe I should have just stippled the whole thing anyway. It does have a nice ring to it. I think you're set. Okay. Go in for the base coat. Yeah, we're just gonna go for a straight stipple. We may do one brighter shade, I'm not sure yet. And it is going to get null oil too, so hopefully that'll make things blend a little bit. What's the color of a mirror? Oh, it started. Well, mirrors reflect light, and light is just a spectrum of colors, so every color. Are there any factions you've yet to make any homebrew for? Except Eldar, because discrimination. I will always discriminate against Eldar. I've attempted orcs. I don't have any orc models. I've attempted guard. Don't have any guard models. I've attempted Tau. Don't have any Tau models. I have not done leagues. I feel like as new as they are, I don't know if I would successfully be able to make anything for them. Because I don't think there's a lot that we know about them yet. Because they are slow to release any information. What am I missing? Other Xenos. Tyranids. I'm not a huge Tyranids fan. I don't despise them like I do the Eldar. I just have a hard time vibing with them. I do have some that I've been trying to get rid of as well. Right up there with my Necrons. Oh, and I attempted Necrons too. But the only ones that have really been successful have been both the Chaos and Loyalist Astartes. And I'm sure if I had Tau models, or Orc models, or Guard models, that would change. Don't have to fight my wife. She'll fight back. Green is the color of a mirror? What are subs? We talked about that the other night. Eldor have such a dope backstory and great lore. It's a shame you're not into them. I just don't like them as characters. I just don't have a lot of respect for them. Subs are a taco as well. Connected bread. Taco. Thank you. Give you the hot dog thing. Should chili have beans or no beans? Beans. Thank you. %, beans, otherwise it's just soup. Apparently not in the Carolinas. I can't speak on that from experience, but apparently Carolina chili does not have beans. For some undisclosed reason. Is chili a soup or a stew? I would call it a stew. Just because of the thickness. The Eldar didn't use beans and chili, and we know what happened to them. Those sadistic bastards. Hey, Admiral Coda. Soups usually can make at the right time, whereas stews require some level of cooking over long periods. Pineapple belong on pizza. That's how you start a civil war. Admiral Coda's just here for the questions. Raincloud didn't have any streams this week, so he has to make up for it here. Pineapple belongs on pizza? You just dropped a few points from your artifacts. I still love your content. Don't leave, please. Spicy Hawaiian is some of the best pizzas, and I'm tired of pretending it's not. Is a bowl of cereal soup or a salad dressed in condiment? I would call cereal a soup. I don't think that's too obscene. Wife is officially the coolest person in your relationship. Well, I'm glad you approve of it. What's up? Cereal is cold soup. Yep. Our marriage has been sanctioned by Adeptus Artifexis. Okay. What do we think of that? Should I add one more brighter color? Because I don't want them to be too different. It's a grave crime to put fruit on pizza other than tomatoes. Jalapeno, pineapple, and ham. That's interesting. What other fruit crimes are there? I'll just pull out one of my Terminators here. Sounds like a fight is already coming out. Pizza lovers. Peanut butter and ketchup sandwiches are my favorite. I hope you're joking. So, here's the blue as it stands on him. No, that's wrong on all levels. Psych ward. So, and here's one of my Terminators with the same scheme. They look kind of similar, don't they? Maybe it's not as different as I thought it was. I'll keep playing around with it and see where we end up. Yeah. I don't know. It kind of just looks okay. Maybe if I add the lighter shade, just a little bit of the lighter shade. See how it looks first. Maybe it'll add a little more depth. And then when I go over it with the Nuln Oil, it'll darken it a little bit. Food crimes. Cookies dipped in water. Ohos dipped in milk, Twizzlers, and chocolate pudding. Huge problem where I love pushing my schemes and trying new things, and every unit is slightly different in its paint job. That's what bugs me. Like, I don't mind them being a little different, especially for character units, but I don't want every single one to be totally different. I'm just gonna... just do a little bit in these areas. Because I don't want him to look ultramarine-y. Or I guess since he's Chaos, I don't want him to look Night Lordsy. What do you think of that? You people are foul. Yeah, focus. There we go. You think that's too much? Not enough? Let me bring back the comparison. Cutting sandwich a half or just diagonal. I don't know. I don't want it to stand out too much. Maybe it'll be a benefit. I'm not sure. We'll do it. He's a little Zinchi too, so I can attempt. Meanwhile, there's an actual debate going on. Depends on the type of sandwich. You think it'll fit in the army? I just don't want him to look like an ultramarine. It's like my worst nightmare. It's accidentally painting an ultramarine. Chips and sandwiches? Yes. Absolutely. 100%. BLT, diagonal, turkey, great. Did you diss my blue boys? Oh, we got another Ultramarine. Simp. Kidding, I like your content, don't leave. Okay. This is a discussion I have a lot. You guys are still talking about food. I don't hate the Ultramarines. I just don't appreciate them like some people because I don't like poster boys. Now, Bobby G, I like Bobby G. And I know a lot of people hate like 30k Bobby G. I like 30k Bobby G. And I like 40k Bobby G. Could be an interesting texture thing. But only butter and chips. UK people do is crazy. Been an Ultramarine simp for 2 decades. Wasn't that back in the days when... I'm trying to think back on all my video essays that I've watched. Who was the poster boy back then? Because before Dark Imperium, there was always somebody else. Was it? It wasn't Imperial Fist, was it? Hate them, hate their Primarch. I hate everything they stand for. Number 1, Lorgar stand. Ah. So you love God. You ever heard about our Lord and Savior Chaos? Memory serves, it was Blood Angels, but it was starting to go towards Dark Angels. Interesting. I just watched a video today about the Crimson Fists, and they're standing as the first poster boys, and they're kind of cool. I think the poster boyness has kind of faded. Granted, that was 30 years ago. So much pigmentation in this blue. Lorgar is so cringe, though. He created a cult. It was before. It was based on a corpse. Yeah. Which do you say most? Pop, soda, Coke. Pop. I say soda. Love the Ultramarines, but boy, we need another group to take the spotlight now. Yeah, they've been there a while. Not only that, they've kind of commandeered the spotlight, like, entirely. Without Lorgar, the Emperor would be a based corpse. This is factual. But I'm from the northern US, so yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize that was a northern Midwest thing. Or that's the vernacular. But I suppose it makes sense. Oh, he's very blue. Very, very blue. It's fine. It's fine. In the UK, it's soft drink. If we're trying to be abnormally posh, it's usually soft drink. But that's for like 5% of the US population. You make me want to reference soft drink in one of my scripts. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell everyone. I'm working on scripting like a short story or an excerpt for one of my videos that is being workshopped at the moment. He looks so ultramarine-y. Anyway, technical terms for beverage. But I'm going to be writing a short excerpt within a video of mine, and I'm probably going to end up doing all the VO work. Coke Zero, any flavors? Or Verner's? That is one I'm unfamiliar with. Need a voiceover for anything? If you're offering, I would absolutely ask you to assist. Because I love, like, Amber King and everything that he does. And I'd love to emulate a style like what he does with his excerpts. I would absolutely take you up on that. Do the helmet. I do need to finish the script though, because it's just going to be a short excerpt to kind of point out the topic of the video I'm making. Moxie Cola is great, but super hard to find. In our house, we're pretty basic when it comes to soda. I drink pretty much anything zero sugar. And then she drinks anything that is not zero sugar. DM me with details on it if you'd rather not share them here. Absolutely. Yeah, I'll do that some point this week, because I'm really needing to crack down on it. Because I have the script for the actual video written, but I need to write the excerpt. Because I know what I want. I just haven't committed to it yet. But yeah, if you want to do some back and forth dialogue. I love doing voice work. I almost, for a short time, became a voice actor. But then time kind of got away from me and I didn't commit to it. So, anyone who plays D&D with me knows that I love to do voices. Okay, I think the blues are done. Let's go to the greens. There's not as much surface area for the green, so that's helpful. And I already have the two shades that I want to use. So the intermediate green is what I use typically for all of the green here. And then I have this camo olive green that I'll be using underneath. I could do a little more of a subtle gradient if I use the flat green in the middle. I could try that. This guy may just end up being very vibrant. Have a craving some voice work? It's perfect timing. Sweet. Yeah, I'll message you sometime this week, and I'll see if I can get an actual script written. I've learned to like the taste of zero sugar over regular soda. With regular sodas, it makes my teeth hurt, plus I'm trying to lose weight. See, I'm the same way. I don't like the taste of sugar, like actual sodas with sugar in them. I can't drink anything but zero sugar anymore. Vibrancy may work. Perhaps. Maybe if it's a theme that I keep just for character units, keeping them super vibrant, and then having like the dull down panels on everyone else, and then doing the like the full paint of the panels instead of the stippling. Off topic, but I went to a local Warhammer Open yesterday and really hit it off with some people there. Nice to finally have more people to game with. That's awesome. Shake these up a little more. Vallejo paints are terrible not shaking up right. Agree about zero sugar drinks, unless mixed with whiskey or whatnot. That is factual. Whiskey makes about anything better, though. Let's try this now. It's kind of a dirty green. I've used it before. I don't drink much other than beer, so it doesn't matter to me. Well, I don't drink a whole lot either, but if I had my choice, it's usually Jack and Coke Zero. It's very much an olive camel green. I don't like it. If I had a guard army, I would definitely use this on them. In case anyone was wondering, I'm giving up on the sponging. I'm just going to go straight stippling. I could paint a Raptors army with this green and make them look really good. I only drink diet, but I use full sugar as a mixer. Diet soda and spirit is foul to me for whatever reason. Interesting. That's not a combination I've tried before. Interesting comparison here. This guy has the same augmetic arm as a Primaris. It's the same style. Go a little heavier. Warpsmith looks like he'd fit in with my old homebrew Chaos Warband. The Heralds of the Black Sun. Black Sun as in, like, the Star Wars Black Sun? What makes you say that? Now I'm curious. Because we do talk about homebrew here. It's kind of our thing. will be needing to pull out a new brush after this. Because I am demolishing this one. So a lot of nooks. I've said that before. There are a lot of nooks on this. He has grenades? I just noticed he has grenades on his belt. Not Star Wars. They're vaguely Red Corsair style in the way they operate, but more tech-based. They dream to put every star in the galaxy into Dyson spheres, basically. That's very ingenuitive. It's very ambitious. I'll say that. Interesting. So they were cyborg super soldier pirates? That's kind of a sick concept. Okay. Now the next green. Do the next darkest one. Black green. Probably could have started that one, but it's okay. Oh yeah, this guy is gonna be vibrant. He's gonna show up very brightly when I make a short. I kind of vibe with it though. Not gonna lie. I think Artifacts has a point. They were way more ambitious than was reasonable. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of ambition in your chaos. I feel like all of them have unrealistic expectations. This guy's almost a little Ninja Turtle-esque. The way the colors are panning. Slate, I gotta hit the hay, do some editing tomorrow. Enjoyed the stream chat. Looking forward to hearing from you about your voiceovers. See ya, Artifexus. Thanks for joining. Why is blue tech so yummy looking? Yeah, I will, I'll definitely message you. I really like the way this guy's turning out. I'm going to be hung up on this detail work forever, though. It's my only complaint. I think once I put the null oil over it, it's going to bring everything together. Because it's the same scheme, but it's like different saturations and vibrancies. It looks sweet. And I still have one more layer of green. I know Rushtip and Malidus are working on their projects right now. Is anybody else who's here working on anything they'd like to share? Or if you don't want to tell us, you can show us in the Discord. That's an option too. Also, Rushtip, I would not advise you to eat your blue tech. Just a piece of brotherly advice. Working on my BDV star path. I think that you should get a capture card and do a YouTube channel on that, since you do that all the time. It's going to be a lot of vibrant colors on this guy, because I'm going to add the glows. It's going to be intense. Okay. I think we're done with the greens. Oh, I have to get the inside. Alright, so I have... I'm ready to do the metallics. The horns are going to have to be the same possessed horns that I have been doing. The trim will probably be the natural steel. We use our gunmetal. Okay. Yep. And then I'm gonna use some bronze places to do things. Question is, where do I start? Chainmail should probably be gunmetal. I don't usually use varying shades of silvers or metallic grays. Usually just use one over the whole model. Since this is a character unit, I kind of want to put a little more effort in. I really don't know what to do for the base. I need to pull out a new brush because that one's shot. I don't know why I used that one. Need to get some more fine tip brushes. So I don't think I have many left. Oops. Yes, I do. These are nice brushes, so I don't know if I want to use them. We'll wait on those. So, all of the gunmetal parts are going to cover the majority of the metallic spots. And then the trim will end up being the natural steel. Something over here. Almost just glued the wrong track part in the wrong place. Thank God Tamiya takes a little bit to set. I still haven't bought any Tamiya yet. Somebody needs to get on me about that. I don't have any new models to build though. Okay. There's that. Two-pack on Amazon is like $10. It lasts forever. Almost a whole Sentinel command squad. A good chunk of this Dorn, maybe 3 milliliters down to 4 milliliter jar. Can't speak. Well, it's on my wish list. I just have to commit. Okay. What else do I want to be gunmetal? Throwing my brush now. By the way, I've been thinking about the warp crate thing. And over much contemplation, I think it's something that I would potentially be interested in, regardless of whether or not models are pre-assembled or painted or not. Because stripping models isn't that difficult, as long as I don't have to take the model apart, because I hate it. And I could just be eBay mini rescues every few months or weeks, or however often I decide. I don't know. I was convincing myself yesterday that it might be worth looking into. Can't be worse than those Necrons. No. Nothing can be worse than those. They are awful. Did I actually show any on stream, or was it just during the game? Get this grenade painted, and I'll show you guys a couple. They're bad. They are very mediocrely painted as well. But if you ever want to see a monstrosity, that is a Necron with a bunch of random Eldar and Space Marine parts thrown on it. So, here you go. Here's one. It's not good. That's just one example. Somebody tried to make... I don't even know what this is supposed to be. It's got a Space Wolf arm and a Power Claw. I just don't know what's going on here. This was one of the flayed ones that Raincloud was using. There's a Tau head on there. And just a bunch of random chaos bits. Here's a terribly painted flayed one. And this dude's just held together by a giant glob of... I think it's super glue, but I'm not sure. And he has just a random orc arm attached to his back. And then I don't even know what kit that's from. It's not focusing either. Focus. It's just a lot. And that's just a few. I got a whole box of these things. Like just a random Eldar arm plastered to his back, holding a rifle. Like, what is this? This dude has chaos pauldrons. And he's barely even painted. And his head is hardly even attached. And he has a Night Lord's pauldron? Question mark? Just... Some of them were broken when I got them. This dude has a Warp Talon claw. Only one, because the other arm's broken off. So bad. So, it's sad, because some of them have some great bits, but whoever did this did not do well. And they definitely didn't take care of them. This dude has a whole, like, Nurgle star. Looks like Bad Kit Bash. It's not just even trying to remove some of the bits that shouldn't be there. Yeah, it would be so much work to try to fix. Which is why I really don't want to. I really just want them out of my hair. The only semi-normal looking ones that came with it, a couple of them are broken, but these Scorpec destroyers, they look like they were just sitting on a shelf forever. Like, there's no kit bashing to these. They're just badly painted. Yeah. It's a disaster. Like, I can't salvage any of these bits. And some of them, they're just covered in white. And I don't understand why we thought we needed chaos bits. I don't understand. It was not a worthy purchase. Oh. Wrong my camera. Okay. Alright, back to work. These mechadendrites. Probably could be putting a lot more effort into this. But I don't really feel like it needs it. I think I made it easy on myself when I didn't actually paint the panels. And I can be a lot more forgivable with my metallics, since all of the panels have the stippling effect. I knew these were going to be tedious. Not really a whole lot of action on the YouTubes tonight. I think me uploading my short yesterday kind of put a damper on my algorithm a little bit. Because for some reason, if you upload too quickly in sequence, YouTube gets confused and it'll stop pushing some of your content to push others. I don't know, it's complicated. Yeah, nearly a third of the way. Then you guys can watch me suffer playing 1,000 points. I don't even know where I'm going to start with that. So, for Sons of Sorrow, I've got a pretty wide variety of models. Like, I have Jump Pack Intercessors, and Death Company, and Assault Intercessors. A lot of close range. I have Infernus. And they have the Impulsor and the Brutalis Dreadnought. And then you go up to the Fervent Storm, and you have a squad of Havocs, 2 squads of Legionnaires, a squad of Possessed, and 15 Terminators. Because I bought a Tartaros Terminator kit. 30k models are the best to buy because you get twice as many in a kit as you would for 40k. And in my opinion, I think the models are a little cooler. So I worked it into my lore that the Fervent Storm uses a lot of Mark III, because I got a bunch of Mark III, and a bunch of Tartaros Terminators. Because that makes sense, right? Well, it does make sense because I wrote it in the lore. And yet the Fervent Storm has more points. Even though it has like a third less of the models. Couldn't type because I was airbrushing. Hope you at least got a good discount on those crons. Yeah, so I got them in packs of like 4 or 5 at a time, and they were like $4. So it was a good deal, but they were bad. They're just well used. Let's put it that way. Poorly crafted, well used. Bought like 80 orcs for 40 bucks a few years ago. Spent so much time stripping them. They put like industrial strength green paint over 3 existing paint jobs. I do not have the desire to do any of that. That sounds horrible. There would be no way you could catch me doing that. I'd try to pawn them off on somebody else. Even if it was an army that I was invested in. And I'm also not invested in Necrons, so that's not really an issue. And yeah, over all those guys, there's like 6 layers of paint. And I don't want to strip those down. But if it were just one unit, I would probably put in the effort. Which is where we go back to the warp crate thing, where I think it would be okay. If it's just one unit, I can manage that. I can strip it and then start over again. As long as it's not a box of monstrosities. Even if they were older models, like I'd paint those. I have some 3rd edition Space Marines. I should have picked in the Discord. Oh god. No. No, 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 no. That is awful. Oh, also, nice setup, by the way, Rushtiv. Yeah, no, that's no bueno. No bueno. I would not be able to handle that. But yeah, I have some old 3rd edition Space Marines that I've been meaning to paint. And I can't run them with anything because their bases are too small. So I was thinking about just painting them as an existing chapter, since I don't really do that. So I would just have to decide which one. And also have the time. That's half the Mechadendrites. And all these tubes and hookups too. Actually, I shouldn't paint that yet, because I gotta paint his holster. Yeah. Let's do the other half of the Mechadendrites. Or do the pistol. I gotta do something with these tubes here too. I want a couple of them to be different than the others, because they are all of different styles. Get a little bit of a bigger brush. Save the smaller one for when I'm painting the details. Go back to the old crappy ones. Oh yeah, much more coverage. So I'm gonna have to go in and do some cleanup anyway. So I don't have to worry about being too particular. I have to figure out what color to paint, or what parts to paint bronze. I'm thinking the stacks up here, and then I don't know beyond that. Yeah, I was making it way harder on myself. Maybe tips for the claws. Perhaps. I don't think I'll use any Agrax on him. I think I'll just Null Oil the whole thing. And I want to do some type of weathering, but I'm not sure what. Since I already stippled all the panels, I don't want to do too much. Thin that down a little bit. Because usually on this brass, Agrax looks the best. And I don't think I've ever used Null Oil on it. But we're going to try it. Just for the summer. Well, it's nicer than mine. I'm on a separate desk from my PC, so I kind of have to look about 3 feet to my right. My palette's almost empty. So I think that's a sign that we're almost done with our gunmetal. Boys got their wash. Crusader got its black done. That looks sick. Those orcs are super grungy, Melodus. Okay. Maybe we won't do any bronze. I can do that retrospectively, but I want to make his augmetics gunmetal. And I need to paint the holster. I was going to paint the Chaos Star bronze. I can do that. Maybe the face? No, because I'm going to put a glow in all those. So that's not going to work. Maybe the Melta barrel? And like the inside of the claws? I'll go ahead and put some more gunmetal on the plasma. I guess I'll go ahead and do this arm. Question is, actually, no, maybe not. I was thinking of painting bronze panels on the plasma. That seems like overkill. I'll just go gunmetal. We'll go ahead and do the blade. Orcs tend to get a lot more saturated with the highlight. Go very heavy on the washes and weathering. They look sweet. They look proper, like almost medieval orky. They've got kind of a Renaissance vibe. I don't usually use gunmetal very much, but I'm curious how it's going to stand up next to the natural steel. Alright, let's pick a color to paint the handle of the hammer. I could just go bright red, but I want to make one of the cables red. Could use this whole red. Renaissance orcs is a scary thought. Make sure it's properly mixed. Yeah, that'll look alright. I'll clean it up whenever I come in and I paint the other augmetic hand. Sweet. That looks sick. Okay, I'm gonna go in and paint the hand now. What do you guys think I should paint for the base? Because I'm not committed to anything yet. I mean, it's a natural terrain. Vinci warpiness. I can probably pull something like that off. Like cracking out from his steps. Yeah, I can do that. Once I get to that point. Let's see. Do I do the steel? Those parts? Probably. Oh, I gotta paint the backside of his chainmail, though. Okay, some more gunmetal. Also, if anybody is here that hasn't been here, doesn't know what's going on, first of all, I'm painting. And second of all, welcome. Third of all, we're attempting to reach 200 subs. So when we reach 200 subs, see when Raincloud and I will be playing a 1,000-point game of 10th edition. Stumbling our way through it because neither of us know hardly anything about the tabletop. I know more than him, but that's just because I absorb 40k all day, every day, so I do have a little bit of an advantage. In that aspect, anyway. And he was talking about kidnapping me to play Legion on his channel. Still waiting on that. Because I'd be down. Also, we have a Discord where fantastic conversations happen. Typically about modeling and homebrew. So if either one of those things are your thing, please, by all means, join our Discord. What if I made these horns metallic? What if the horns were bronze? I don't want to do that. I don't want to make it the only thing that's bronze, though. What do we think about whenever I make the Zinch Warpiness having some strands of the energy being like purple and then some being blue? Or do you think it should all be blue? I'm gonna paint some of these larger panels. Say both. We'll see what I can do. Still have a ton of detail work to do. I'm gonna paint some of these larger panels in the gunmetal, and we'll accent it with the natural steel. I know I keep saying that, but I'm kind of just going back and forth on the way I actually want to do it. Maybe I should make some of the tubes bronze. I'm gonna do another comparison for posterity's sake, just to hold them side by side. He does still fit. I would almost be tempted to do this army-wide. But since he's a character, I kind of want him to stand out a little more. I'm just going to commit to the bronze. And then we'll come in with our accents. This bronze does not mix very well either. I was gonna do a like a magma glowing effect on the hammer, but if he's Zinchian, I feel like I should change it to blues and purples. And the plasma, I'm not sure. I like both. The brighter colors remind me even more of my CSM cult. Sort of gray slate color is really appealing though. Yeah, I may just keep the gray slate for infantry units. Because it's simple. But this really catches the eye. Okay. Got our bronze. Let's paint the skull. Just cuz. Oh, he's gonna end up looking very ultramarine-y. Or Night Lords. It's fine. It's fine. It's all fine. Okay. There's the other thing I said. Might as well paint this skull back here too. I was gonna make it the natural steel, but I feel like it'll look alright. This looks like some heresy ultramarines that I've seen someone paint in the grimdark style. Stippling like this. God, stop letting the ADHD take over. I gotta paint the rest of this. I'm missing spots. One of the downsides of having a bespoke color scheme is that everyone draws comparisons to official factions. The guys get called Night Lords all the time. Yeah, it's something I'd like to avoid, but I know it's impossible. Paint these spiky shafts, and then the pieces that connect will paint the highlight. Guarantee that if you take your Lamenter successor to a tournament, at least one person will assume their Imperial Fists. I've had people guess that already on a couple of my shorts. Even though the heart on their pauldron is very visible. Like, they don't even draw them to Lamenters. But that's fine. I do use Imperial Fist on them. Or at least now I do. Before my very first scheme, I had a Death Wish because I did a black base coat. And while I was still figuring it out, I did so many layers of just yellow. And it looked so bad. So then I was like, let's try a base coat of like brown. And that didn't look any better. And then I was doing some research, and people were like, use Wraithbone on under Imperial Fist. And I was like, but the whole model isn't yellow. I still have to do the silver. And so I tried it, and the silver turned out great, and the yellow was phenomenal. So I was like, this is my new scheme. I was happy with it. But they will not ever be seeing a tournament. Because I don't expect them ever really to leave my shelf. Especially if it's a GW tournament. Because I don't use Citadel paints, really. Hello, Games Burger. Couldn't imagine black over yellow. Have you ever tried pink and the white undercoat? I tried the pink. Yeah, I used pink and then I dry brushed white. And with the Imperial Fist over it, it was too orange. And I wasn't a fan. I wanted it to be more of the yellow. As long as I don't have third-party conversions. Well, we're safe there. How are you, Games Burger? We are painting our Warpsmith this evening. do pink as the undercoat for yellow for my Space Wolf pauldrons. See, that makes sense, because they're a little orange anyway. But my Sons of Sorrow, they have the paler yellow working through your Space Wolves box. Awesome. I have thought about getting some Space Wolves myself for my recent homebrew, because I need Space Wolf bits, but I don't need wolf bits. I just need like the teeth and stuff that dangle off of pauldrons and things like that. But yeah, so now my official scheme is I use Wraithbone as the primer and base coat. I come in with the Imperial Fist, and then with the after the Imperial Fist, I dry brush flat yellow on top of that, and it dulls it down a little bit, and I think it looks good. And then I do a 1-to-2 ratio water to Nuln Oil wash over the yellow, because straight Nuln Oil over yellow just looks terrible. And then that's pretty much that. Should I come in for my highlights before I do that? No, I'll do this first. How many of the Space Wolves do you have built, Gamesburger? Are you kind of doing your own thing with them, or are you just painting them like the box? Bit close to the box, but I have some extra bits. Sweet. If you want to show them off, we have room in the Discord. If you're comfortable with that. I know some people just want to keep it to themselves, but I am not one of those people. I like to vary the paint up a bit so they're not all the same. That is a good idea. Wish I had thought of that. Actually, no, I don't. I'm pretty happy with everybody being somewhat uniform, except for this guy. This guy is my experiment. Been doing some stippling and some brighter, more saturated colors from this scheme, because this is the scheme for the rest of my army. But he is the first character unit I've painted for it. So I wanted him to be just a little bit different. Let's see. One of these is going to be different. That one looks like it could be more of the red. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm doing it. Thank you. Appreciate that. I do my best. Certainly not the most experienced painter. So I think these spiky bits are gonna be bronze. And that means I can make the ones on the dendrites bronze. Which means that one. This is technically a pincer, but I'm going to classify it the same. Does that mean the Melta should shoot warp fire too? Nice work, Rushdiv. That looks sweet. I hate mold lines too, but I don't do anything about it. Mostly because I'm lazy. Alright, we're gonna do it. We're gonna paint the whaling stacks bronze. And then if I can pull it off, I'm gonna make the Zinchi glow come out of them. Tracks took forever. I don't have any tanks. Like I said, I have the impulsor, but it's not a track on that thing, which makes me a little sad. I'm not really sure that I like the repulsor technology in the 40k universe anyway. I feel like Call just went a little bit overboard. Like the Primaris are one thing. Okay. They're okay. But repulsor technology? Isn't that what storm speeders are for? It's fine for the Eldar Custodes, but not Space Marines. Yeah. You just made the Space Marines like everybody else. They're supposed to be the gritty, on-the-ground soldiers. Okay. Now the question is, do I paint the horns bone, or do I paint them bronze? Can't wait to stick a bunch of extra bits on these tanks. I feel like it would be funny to find a model a little cooler. Yeah, under the back of one. That would be sick. Couple brewskis for the crew. I'm sure you'd be able to find an STL somewhere. These two. Maybe it'll tie it all together whenever I paint the trim, because it's all going to be natural steel. I gotta paint the bottom of his boots too. That needs to be gunmetal. I used a finer brush for that. Who do you think would have more to do with warpsmiths as far as deities go? Do you think because they deal with warp stuff that it would be Tzeentch? Or do you think because they deal with tech stuff it would be Vashtor? Gonna call it a night. See you, Melodus. Thanks for joining. Sorry it's a little quieter tonight. I feel like that's partially my fault because I uploaded my short yesterday. I think I'm going to do the same thing too here pretty soon. Well, I'm ready to attack everything. I really need to paint that holster. Hit that with something. Make it brown. It's doing good. 1.3k. Yeah, I've kind of been keeping an eye on it today. It kind of capped out at like 1350, 1351, something like that. It kind of just sat there. But I'm not complaining. Anything over 1,000 I'm happy with. Especially since I don't upload them that often. Had an idea in mind for a Sineshi Warpsmith, but a fallen tech priest who was a disciple of Kaul and wanted perfect old designs that the Imperium was developing new tech. That's an interesting idea. We'll see you next time, Melodus. If I can get away with one coat for that. Need to put some on this too. Lucky might start trying to stream here soon. Don't see why not. Give it the old college try. Absolutely. If you pick a time that I'm not doing anything else, I'll definitely show up. I missed a whole spot on this mechadendrite. Sweet. Would have to get something to hold my webcam, proper lighting setup. Probably do it Thursday nights or something, not sure. Just a thought I had. I might be available to watch on Thursdays. So I have a bunch of GoPro mounts that I have. And I just clamped one to a mic stand because I'm a musician too, so I have a couple of those lying around. And I clamped my ring light onto that for some extra lighting. And here we are. It's not ideal, but it works for me. Oh, excuse me. Alright, I don't know if I'm ready to tackle this trim yet. I think I may have to call it myself. Which means it may have to be something that I finish during the week. Or that I won't have time for until next stream. We shall see. But I'm super happy with where he is right now. I gotta decide what to do with these horns, though. They're gonna bug me. Maybe they should just be gunmetal. Or I've got enough bronze. I can get away with the horns being bronze, right? We're gonna make the horns bronze. That's proper Zinchi. I've done it. I'm committing. So, getting started soon on streaming, but I may have to order some stuff. I definitely did. I bought some stuff for the Kill Team stream. And I feel like that was relatively successful. And now I've got it for the next one. It actually makes him a little more demonic, not gonna lie. Kinda here for it. Kinda looks sweet. Okay, finish painting these tubes. always thought about content creating since I consume so much of it, but I never took any steps to do it. Also, the horns look great, don't they, though? I'm a fan of that. It feels like a proper mixture of the silver with the bronze. Yeah, my thing is I just don't have a whole lot of time in the day, so that's why I don't do a ton of content outside of streaming. Streaming's pretty easy. I can just get on, I can talk to you guys, and it's a great time. I'm blown away by how quickly the channel has grown. And there hasn't been that much traffic tonight. And like I said, I kind of blame that on the algorithm being a little bit confused because I uploaded that short. But it's not really a huge concern for me. I'm not really concerned about a lot of growth anyway. That wasn't why I started this. I did it because I wanted to share things with viewers that I was passionate about, and this is something that I'm passionate about and something I can do. And I have a lot of fun doing it. But I think I'm going to call it a night. And this will either be done by next week or not. We'll work on it again next week. Yeah, it was fun. See you, Rushtiv. Consistency is key. It's true with many things in life. Exercise, work, school, social media. That is very true. That's why I'm glad I'm able to keep this weekly schedule. And if I were to upload shorts, I should probably have a schedule for that too, regardless of whenever I get it done. In proximity to the nights that I stream. And then if I ever get time to do the videos that I want to do, I'm gonna have to figure out a schedule for those too. But the gradient looks awesome. I'm really happy with it. I'll do some research to see if I can figure out how to make some good Zinchian glow effects. Plasma, I've already kind of got a good recipe for that. But yeah. Yep. Have a good night, Rushtiv, and anyone else who may be watching. We will see you officially next Tuesday. There may or may not be another stream in between. We'll see. So, have an excellent night.